Hey guys, I know I said I wasn't going to do a video today, but I sort of changed my mind. I'm here with Roar President Clayton Young. I got you right.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. I just wanted to talk to him because you know, I've done my share of Roar work before, and I know how difficult it is, and it's volunteer, so you take a lot of heat.
A lot of heat. But
I got to say, I appreciate so far since you've had the helm of making decisions and sticking with it. For starters, that's one thing that I've noticed. That's a little different from the past, and also making decisions too. That's another one that I've noticed. So can you just like tell me how your experience has been so far, and maybe go into anything that might be coming up in the future, changing with Roar, just something different, or I don't know if there is anything, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, overall the experience has been positive, even though there's negative times.
Sure.
Usually those change. So the whole computer gate at the last Nats, you know, the computer was set wrong. Somebody pointed out that it was wrong. We looked at the rules, made sure everything was right before we were awarded the championship. Sure, there's keyboard warriors out there that aren't even at the race hating on it, but then there's keyboard warriors that are at the race saying, hey, shut the hell up. They did what they were supposed to. They did a good job. Everything ran smoothly. Yeah. So the overwhelming support is awesome, because when something weird or bad happens, you get the support of the rest of the community because they know you're trying, they're trying, everybody's trying to make this whole thing better and not be a shit show. I don't know if I can say that on your...
You can say that, I don't really care. Do you... so I know you've been on Keenan's show a lot.
Yep.
And it seems like there's a little bit more transparency or just openness to what's going on. You seem to make yourself widely available.
Absolutely.
I mean, you find that helps, right?
I do, because without being available for people to come say, hey, I feel like you screwed this up or this happened, whether they're right or wrong or you're right or wrong, if you don't have that dialogue, nothing's going to change and get better.
Right.
It takes everybody to make this thing grow and become mainstream. And with shutting everybody down and saying, you know, we know better than you, that's just the backwards way of thinking, and we need to be thinking forward and doing things going in the right direction.
What's your job here this weekend? It says Roar referee, but like...
So I'm the IFMAR referee,
okay.
Which will be calling penalties from the driver's stand, as well as help the team make sure everything runs smoothly at the event. Garland Smith is the race director, because Tim Caparel bailed on us. Yes, I'm putting that out there, Tim. Bailed on us. But you know, all in all, things are going smoothly. We are working with the IFMAR representative to follow the IFMAR rules and things that may not be in the rule book that he's telling us we need to do. And that's frustrating, but it's getting done. Is that politically as correct as I can be?
So I went to an IFMAR race. I went to the IFMAR Worlds in 2016 as a U.S. team manager when I was comp director. And the one thing that I noticed there was that the team manager meetings in the morning seem to be highly contentious sometimes. Like, I don't know if that happened here. Obviously, I'm not involved in any of that, but it seemed like there was a lot of things that were pointed out that they had to make a decision on the spot instead of just going to the rules. Has it been like that, or has this been a lot smoother of a deal?
The team managers meetings have been fairly smooth. Some people have pointed out a different interpretation of a thing, like,
sure.
So is the 6 sets of tires going to be for the free practice, or can they run open tires for the practice? And then the team managers all come to an agreement on what's best, and then we just follow what the team managers would like us to do. Like, yeah. It's not hard as long as you're not a jerk and say, no, you're dumb, this is the way it is. Like, yeah. You make the best decision. The team managers, most of them are the top drivers because they're the only people from their country.
Right.
Like Ungaro and Bruno, they're their own country team managers. So they're not only a team manager, but they're one of the top drivers in the sport, giving you the best input. So what makes things fair for everybody, because all these decisions are made before people hit the track.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, we started doing something and now we're going to change anything.
Right.
Before we get started, anything that's in question, we get with the team managers, we have it break it down, and then we all come to an agreement with all the countries, even the U.S., and do it according to that spec.
Okay. All right, I think that's all I got for you. Today's kind of a quiet day, so it gives us a chance to finally talk a little bit.
And thank you for your service back in 2016.
Yeah, I was comp director from 2015 to 2018.
So thank you.
Yeah,
I'm sure you'll help keep things moving along.
I tried. Oh, That's right. One more question. Are we ever going to get bumps back in 10 scale again?
We have talked about it for electric, right?
Yeah.
So we have to have a scheme that we don't have to slow the program down for bumps.
Okay.
So we're talking about a way to do it, but we don't have it indefinite yet. But I would like to bring them back.
Okay. Cool. Well, that makes me happy. So, all right. Okay. Thanks, man. Appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
Yep. Bye. All right. So I chased down Larry Tom here, and he's is it owner or co-owner of Hobby
Well,
Action?
co-owner. Nick and I own it together.
Okay. So just a couple questions real quick. When we kind of got back going after COVID and all that stuff, and it was known that the Worlds were going to be in the U.S. again, like, was that when you chose to put in for it, or was it a decision that you kind of had to go? Is it worth the effort? Is it?
Yeah, it was not an easy decision. That we had talked about when we originally built this and started in 16 planning wise and opening in 17. But the ultimate thing is always host the biggest race in the world, right?
Sure, yeah.
In my mind. And then after COVID and after they submitted the bids or put out the bids request, we decided not to kind of do it. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of money on this place.
Yep.
You spent a lot of money building it and then spent a lot of money getting it ready for the Worlds. But it's one of those things that, hey, what can we do? What's the best case scenario for us if we do host this thing? And when people ask me, it's like, hosting this thing, what's it like? I was like, it's like kind of like I tell my family, they ask me, it's like hosting the Olympics.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
You're not in it to make a whole crap ton of money putting this event on.
No.
So our goal was to get close to breaking even, to put some improvements into the shop and into the track, and you can see it by the TVs and the scoreboards and stuff that we've added.
Yeah.
Just sort of those little touches that we
I happen to know the guy that did the TV stuff.
Yeah. I should probably give him a shameless plug, Tim Marks.
Yep.
But yeah, Tim came down before our Desert Classic and kind of started planning this thing out and added another scoreboard that faces the pit areas.
Yep.
Updated all of our programming so it kind of works together. We got one remote in the office now that turns everything on and off.
Really?
All of our DVD, all of our direct TV is in the office now, so we can turn those on and off. And I can have this little screen on our wall that I can say, okay, I want the scoreboard 1 to show timing, I want scoreboard 2 to show ESPN, and I can control that all from one space now instead of having to walk around with a
I gotta tell
remote.
You, if I ever had a heart attack or got hit by a truck or something and died, whoever tried to figure out how I have my system rigged up is
done.
It'd be over. They would be like, what the hell? How does this even work?
Yeah, there's many a night sitting there with 4 bang TVs and hitting the off button, and like 2 would go off and 1 would stay on.
Yeah.
And then hit it again, and then the 2 that were off turn back on, and then 1 turns off, and But he set it up so it's all 1 button now, push it, and it all turns off. He did a great job. Tim and Amy came down. Amy hung out at the Airbnb. Tim came out here and busted his butt for a couple of days and got everything installed for us. But back to hosting the Worlds, we kind of put in for it, and we're awarded kind of like October, November-ish.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit late, I thought, for putting the spin on and kind of planning it. I wanted to kind of have like a year to get everything kind of set. But
I think because we thought about it too, and our place just isn't. It's nice, but it's not set up for very well for like spectators, and for some of the like we wouldn't have a lot of room for media. We wouldn't have had a lot of room for timing and scoring, that sort of thing. So it just didn't really work with what we had. Maybe that'll change. It's rounding in 10 years. Maybe we'll be able to put some time and kind of redesign our place or something. But I thought you did an excellent job with how you have everything laid out. It flows really well, and spectators have a place to go.
That was the biggest thing. Our normal club racing, we don't have, like you guys, I think you have a little set of stands in the corner.
Sure.
We don't have that.
Yeah.
And, our guys used to kind of congregate along the walls.
Yep.
And sit up on the wall or whatever. That was probably the hardest thing to figure out. We have a local company that had, I called them up and said, hey, you guys rent bleachers? And they said, yes, we do. I said, I have this crazy idea. I have this uneven surface, so our ramp goes down.
Right.
And then I have this wall that holds dirt back. You think we could build something to get bleachers up there? And the guy came by, looked at it, he goes, it's possible. So
you can do it.
So we're still all, the crazy thing is we're still all legal. So the ADA ramp still works.
Yep.
We have the bleachers that kind of split that, and then we lost about 1.5 feet off the track.
Yeah.
Because of how the bleachers overhang. But I think it worked out pretty good. Worked out better than I thought it would work out. So,
yeah.
You know, and then, you know, the flow of how we have tire tech and regular tech, and then going up the steps to get to the rostrum.
Yeah, the rostrum. I like saying that. Rostrum.
Yeah, it's a big word. Yeah. Big word for us Americans.
Yeah.
The rostrum.
Yep.
You know, it works out pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, Mod Media, we kind of tucked Mod Media in the corner over there. We've got like 37 guys there.
He's got a lot of
doing
staff.
all kinds of work. So, you know, they wanted a little bit bigger area than we normally give them. So it's worked out pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I think it's great. I don't think it, honestly, I don't think it could be any better. I think the tire stuff and the whatever, to be honest with you, I had a leftover set of tires, so everything worked out fine with that.
Yeah, I think, you know, for me, that first Saturday, I didn't sleep very much.
No, and I've had shit like that happen where I'm sitting there freaking out, and most people around me like,
Yeah, I think most of these guys were a little bit freaked out at first, but once they figured out that everyone was going to have the same amount, the same rules, it kind of brought it down. And then once we started racing, everyone stopped talking about it in the building.
I think also, so your warm up, the warm up classes had the tires, but the track itself still had other classes. Stuff. So it was a little bit more abrasive and stuff. This track, I don't think got near as abrasive as everybody thought. No, and I think that's why we were able to use fewer sets of tires, which is good because it saved me money. I know that.
Yeah, Jake and I were talking about it the other day. You know, when we started running, I was like, man, the track has a grip, but it's almost like sealed.
Yeah,
it was, you know, shiny.
Yeah,
you know, it didn't get abrasive. It's getting a little bit abrasive now just because the amount of laps we've had on it. But it's still pretty good. It's still in very good shape, I think.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's going to be a little bit sketchy again come two-wheel once we start.
Sure.
But once the cars start running on it, it'll kind of do the same thing. We'll progress during the day, get faster and more grip during the day, and then start over again.
Yep. So. Cool. Well, we're going to look at the track before I go work on my car. But I wanted to make sure I got you in my next video. So thanks, dude.
Thanks guys.
For taking the time.
Yep.
All right, so here's a change of the track, and I like it. It's that side especially kind of where I thought it would be. So when you come off the straightaway, now you got to double into a little kicker, and that's going to take that double from being really hard to probably not as hard, because now you can just stay fully punched. This all stays. I love this front section. I thought we were going to be jumping this, but we didn't jump it at all on four-wheel, so we definitely won't be jumping it at all on two-wheel. But I love the flow of it. Jump on, jump off. That hump is there, that hump is there. Now there's a little 180, and then you come into the whoops real slow, and then that corner's there, and then you drop down, come around, so that groove is still there. The triple is into a little double with kind of a sideways landing, which is pretty cool. A little bit of a curve, and then right back to where we were in four-wheel drive. So 20% of the track, might even be a little bit more than that. And I know they had this planned out for a while. You can just sort of see how quickly they were able to turn it around. And the track's really only going to be green in a few spots, honestly. Probably that corner right there where that cameraman is at there, and probably the landing, and probably, I don't know, not too many spots, really. Maybe the acceleration point after that corner, but everywhere else is pretty much the same. So that's pretty awesome. We'll go walk it real fast, and then or maybe just get a view from the other side. So here's that new front section. So now you're gonna be coming off the straightaway and just sort of send it. You probably land right in the face of that hump right there. Little scrub, and then turn, and then into that flowy section, and then back to the zigzag sort of infield. So that's pretty freaking awesome. You can see there that the lane kind of, they made it so that it kind of curves a little bit. So that's gonna be very fast. I think that's gonna be faster than kind of what it was yesterday. Yesterday kind of tried to hang a little bit and downside, I think now you can, again, you're gonna get on the throttle and just kind of stay fully punched and just blip it over the next one and try to carry some corner speed through that far corner over there. I don't want to get these guys a shot. So yeah, it's pretty good. I look forward to tomorrow. I'm gonna try to find another person to talk to, and then we'll might be it for this one. So all right, so I'm here with my buddy Jason Rona. Been a J Concepts driver for several years now, many years. Jason's been a supporter of the HobbyPlex for a long time. We've done a lot of races, all the way going back to like 2010, I think, is when we did the first 8-scale off-road race, Memorial Day weekend. Of course,
it was so long ago. I ran nitro, buggy, truggy, e-buggy.
Yeah.
At one race, I ran 3 classes.
Yeah, and I believe you won at least one of them, right? If I remember
I've done
correctly.
well out there. Yeah. Honestly, it was a great place to race, with or without the roof.
Yeah,
so.
That's true. Yeah, he raced our track when it was outside. That's how old we are.
Yep.
So, okay, so on to Worlds here. Obviously, you've got a strong team of J Concepts drivers. When it's a controlled tire like this, what are you trying to showcase otherwise than that? Like, is there, because the focus now is off the tires, so obviously J Concepts is more than just tires. So
yeah, I mean, that's, people ask me that all the time, and I'm like, you know what, this is one of, the first thing that we got into in the business was bodies.
Mm-hmm.
We had the first Illusion body at the first Worlds that I debuted it at was in 03, so 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I debuted the first Illusion body at the Worlds at Minreg in Florida, and then we had the BJ4, of course, the 4-wheel drive car there, and for me, all along the way...
I'm still on the waiting list for that, though.
Yeah, we're going to have an email pretty soon,
yeah,
so we should get one. Which people ask us to re-release that car, it's funny, but yeah, it's always been a big thing to me and to us, is the bodies, the wings, the wheels, and ever since we started, it's been a big focus for us to be involved in the body shell side of this, because I'm so about the looks and the performance of the body. It's always been my favorite part. The tires and the bodies has always been my favorite part of this business, going back to when I was racing, getting going in the early 90s and getting going as a pro in the mid to late 90s. It was always a big thing for me, the look, the feel, the bodies, and it's important for us to keep that moving in a positive direction and try to be involved any way we can at these events. The thing that we do is we like to come here and support our drivers, no matter what. So we like to be behind our guys, that we want to make sure that we have like the product here behind us. If they need something, whether it's wheels, whether it's the bodies, the wings, the accessories, because we have so many of those items, the turnbuckles and the screws and front wings and all these different parts for the car that help the performance, and whether it's making it lighter or having a better aerodynamic effect, having a better rear wing, because you're going to need, the name of the game in this is to have the car to stick to the ground, right?
Right.
Whether you're doing it with tires, you're doing it with the chassis setup, or you're doing it in some type of aerodynamic or weight type of direction, is kind of what we focus on. So we're here because of that, and we want to see our drivers do well. We want to win these races with our products any way that we can. And I've done these races as a racer in the past, and whether it was open tire, I've done them as a control tire. Now that they're a control tire, it's a good opportunity for us to concentrate on those other items and come here and just want to have any kind of impact we can on the performance and our our team driver's success at the race.
Yeah. So with that being said, Spencer, man, yesterday gave me a heart attack. I'm sure it did you too.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect going into the final. He qualified 5th, which was probably just a little outside of the window that would be perfect for getting a little better start. So each main, you could see he had to move around, 3rd, 4th qualifier and get into that battle. And I think if he had to do anything differently, as when I talked to him, he said, I just need to qualify better.
Sure.
Like, there's no
starting position.
Yeah, his basically, he's like, I have no excuses. I should have qualified better, and maybe I could have been a little bit more in the game. And I think What I saw is a little extra pace. He had extra in the mains that we didn't see before.
Yeah.
And I think that was what made it kind of special. Is I didn't think that most people watching believes that there's even another little extra gear for these guys. You know, in the past we've seen guys like Ryan Mayfield, Dakota Fenn show you that little extra gear.
Yeah.
They have there's another gear they can get to, and I think that is the impressive part about watching these events is you see the drivers that are maximizing their qualifier the fastest they can go and feel comfortable. But then when push comes to shove, you see a couple guys that have another little extra mode they can go to, and that's what you saw with Spencer. Is you saw the reason why he has won it before, why he's one of the favorites to win again, and so that's what was exciting to me, was to see that little bit extra that I didn't think that was there until the main.
Yeah, those the last 3 laps of A3, I don't think Ungaro or Rivkin could have gone any faster. I mean, they were.
Well, you know, and then on
Ungaro had to
side
defend a little bit, but I mean, they were so close, and it was from my vantage point. I got some video right on the driver's stand. A couple corners. I mean, Rivkin's this far away from him, just pressuring him the whole time, and Ungaro didn't crack.
No.
He didn't crack. So
I mean, that was the other thing I was going to mention is just, I mean, you can't really, you know, it's very rare in these World Championship events going past, you know, the last time we had it in Slovakia.
Sure.
A lot of the TQs don't always convert on the victory because there is so much pressure.
Yeah.
And I think Ungaro handled it beautifully. He was a total champ out there, just the way he was handling that pressure.
Yeah.
And his pace was still high. They pulled away. And, you know, that was really the difference, honestly, is that he did not crack.
Yep.
If he would have made any mistake whatsoever, Spencer would have been in
was
there.
right there.
He would have been in there and got it. And there was really, I think, from Spencer's position, he didn't really have anywhere to go.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he didn't really have a way to make the move or the pass, and I think that was the difference.
Yeah. Well, on to 2-wheel drive. So, whole new ball game. Got a new track. Looks good, and I'm sure we'll see all the guys up there again.
I'm sure you're happy that for once you don't have to build these tracks.
No,
you don't have to be out there.
I told Jake I don't envy him at all, but that's a very impressive, quick turnaround. I really liked it, and they planned ahead too. So, you know.
Yeah, you know what? I was super impressed. Jake did an awesome job, and the you know, Matthew and everyone helping last night. Larry was out there with a shovel getting it done, and he's like, you know what? I'm not doing it tomorrow. I'm doing it tonight, and it's gonna be done tomorrow.
Yep.
Great job.
Yep. All right, man. Thanks
again
for talking to me.
Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, no problem.
This is an awesome experience. I'm glad you're able to be a part of it. Did it right with your sister and the trip overall, and you got a little bit of sightseeing.
Yeah, definitely.
Going. So we'll see you again.
Yeah,
and,
63rd yesterday. So just a little short, but where I wanted to be. But I still got third of my main. They still got to call my name, so I was happy with that.
Perfect.
All right. Thanks, man. Well, that's what I got from the off day today. I had to go to the track, obviously, to buy my 2-wheel drive rear tires, and right now I'm thrashing on my 2-wheel drive. I got started on it, and then my stepbrother actually lives here in Phoenix, so we went out to eat with him, and it went a little later than I thought. So now I'm kind of like, got to get on it. It's a little late, so I'll have everything ready for practice tomorrow. No big deal there, but excited for tomorrow. You know, yesterday I was so enthralled by the main events that I really didn't go over how my day went. And I'd say I finished 63rd, qualified 69th, and I had a pretty darn good main. Got involved in that first turn pileup, which, you know, there's a switchback right after that jump coming off the straightaway, and I was like, I start 9th. There's probably no way I'm going to get through there without getting ran into a little bit, and got bounced around a little bit, but I was able to get through it. I think I popped out of there in sixth position. Then just made sure I didn't crash. I rewatched the video a few times, and I'm like, man, could have done a little bit better. There's a few spots I think I had to lay up on the triple once because I bounced off the pipe. So instead of punching it and crashing, I just singled, and I didn't really lose that much time to the car I was chasing. I think it was Doug. So, but there was a couple more times I got a little squirrely or got a little loose, and so I think I could have drove better. But it's all about that starting ninth. You know, it was going to be tough to get up there, but yeah, just didn't crash a whole bunch. Made it happen. Actually felt pretty good after the end of that. So again, my goal is top 50. Ended up 63rd. So my new goal for two-wheel drive is top 50 as well. But if I can beat how I did in four-wheel drive, I'll also be kind of happy. So we'll see what happens starting tomorrow. So yeah, got a little bit to do here, but that's okay. We got time. And of course, tomorrow's just a practice day, so no big deal. They did limit us to 6 tires total for the event, including practice again. So again, the tires that I bought for open, I don't get to use still, so I still have a set of tires I'm never going to use. It is what it is, just part of it. But boy, would have been nice to know that beforehand, so I didn't have to spend the $50 to make tires. That's all I got. Hope you enjoyed the interviews. It was fun chasing down Larry and Jason and Clayton. So, all right, we'll pick back up with you all tomorrow, and I hope you're enjoying it. And yeah, we'll make another video for you soon.